Good morning, all of you. Today's session, we are going to discuss about 10th class chemistry. Here, we are going to cover Unit 5, that is Human Eye and Colorful World. Okay. So, how human eye is able to capture the light and what kind of objects are visible, how distant we are able to see without any disturbance, without any inconvenience. Those topics will be covered in today's session, that is Human Eye and Colorful World. Okay, so today's topics we are going to discuss are least distance of distinct vision, and second is structure of human eye. These topics will be covered in today's session. So, detailed eye and how well it used to see, how distance we are able to see, those topics will be covered. Let us move on to our actual topic. Right. So sunlight is the fundamental source of energy which able to give the radiation whichever required for the survival of all living organisms. Whatever activities we are performing, that energy is derived from this sunlight only. Where hydrogen get combined by the process called nuclear fusion and the formation of helium is possible. During this fusion, lot of energy will be liberated. Hence, we can say the sun is a source of helium. Heliocentric entities. Okay, so this sunlight can be available on the earth in various forms. Various forms of radiation will be available. And now we are going to describe few properties of light and how our eye is able to capture a certain region of this sunlight. Okay, so in your earlier class, you already studied about refraction of light. Refraction of light is known as change in the direction of light whenever light wave passes from one medium to another. This is well explained by taking a simple experiment. A straight object, let us take a pencil and dip it into water, which is of transparent object, transparent container. Okay, let us take a glass beaker. Into that, a pencil was dipped. Okay, so initially pencil is in straight line only, so it is of straight line. Whenever dipped into water, the we can view that pencil with certain angle. So some curve will be observed whenever we are seeing that pencil when it is dipped into water. So actually that object is not in the bent shape, but whenever we observe this object dipped into another medium, here you can see outer medium is a gaseous one. So when it dipped into water, it can be a liquid portion. So light passing from outer gaseous medium to inner liquid medium, it will move with certain angle. There is a curvature or diffraction in the light will be observed. The kind of change in its direction by certain angle is known as refraction of light. Because of this refraction only, you can see that straight line object will be observed as a bent shape molecule, even though it is a straight line only. So after removing this water, what happens? You can see that it is a straight line only. But whenever it is partially immersed into any kind of liquid object, so we can observe angle of light. That angle of light is mainly due to the factor called refraction of light, right? So what are important characteristics of light radiation? So light radiation is associated with electrical as magnetic vector, right? So light is a combination of electrical as well as magnetic which are oscillating in perpendicular manner. Right? So this electromagnetic radiation is composed of various segments in accordance with increasing energy level or decreasing the wavelength of the one, right? Highest energy electromagnetic radiation portion will be cosmic rays, and a second level will be gamma rays, followed by X-rays will be there, ultraviolet radiation, visible radiation, infrared radiation, microwave, followed by radio waves will be there, right? Cosmic rays of higher energy, whereas radio waves are considered as of sunlight is the major source of energy, and it is composed of various segments of this electromagnetic radiation. whatever energy available on the earth, which is mainly transformed form of this solar energy only, solar radiation only. So all kind of energy sources available on the earth mainly transformed forms of sunlight. So sunlight absorbed on the earth and that can be transformed into various forms. Now let us see what is meant by intensity of light. The strength with which light is emitted from the radiation source is known as its intensity. This intensity mainly depends upon how distant it is traveling and what angle it is associated with. So intensity of light mainly depends upon its angle as well as distance traveling. Smaller the distance, greater will be the intensity. Smaller the angle, greater will be the intensity. So in that way, intensity mainly depends upon two factors. One is angle, second is distance traveled. Okay. And next segment is about frequency of light. How can we measure the frequency? For example, let us take the light waves. So light is moving in the form of waves. Light having dual property. One is particle nature, second is wave nature. Right? So both the properties are associated. Now let us consider light as a wave, and whenever these waves of light passing through the fixed point, when we are taking a fixed point, through the fixed point these light waves are traveling. Okay, fixed point light waves are traveling. So now let us define what is frequency. Number of waves, number of oscillating waves which are passing through the fixed point in the unit time. Let us assume within 5 minutes. So how many waves are passing through this a fixed point is known as its frequency. Here two different waves are given. In the first case, number of waves are somewhat less, and second case, number of waves are more. That's why first case is regarded as a lower frequency, whereas second one is called a higher frequency. To the point, we are passing the light, so less number of waves, light of higher number of waves in these two cases, right? So always frequency is measured in hertz or cycles per second. Next is about wavelength. Wavelength of light is defined as when we are considering this wave nature of the light. So two consecutive peaks, otherwise two consecutive troughs. The distance between the two adjacent peaks or two adjacent troughs is known as its wavelength, right? Wavelength is given as nanometers, otherwise angstroms. Any kind of units can be used to express this wavelength of light. Okay, so this is another parameter of light. And next is about actual topic of today. One is convex lens, second is concave lens. Okay, so convex lens is nothing but which having this kind of arrangement. Arrangement will be like this. Here dome type of shape will be there in both the ends. Dome type of shape will be there in the both the ends, that is called a convex lens. Let us define what convex lens. When an object is placed at infinity distance, real image is formed at the focus. The size of image is much smaller as compared to the object. Okay, so when we observe the mirror which represented like this, so the mirror which represented like this, here we can see when it is represented in inward shape is called a convex lens, and convex lens used to give the real image of the picture. Even the image is in far distance, but it will give the real image of inverted shape with a clear description will be possible. This is called the convex lens. Now let us see second possibility of the light, that is concave lens. If you are taking concave lens, this concave lens is defined as, so it diverges the straight light coming from the source, and it will give the image of smaller in size. Diminished size of image will be generated, and the image will be generated as upright only. Whatever image we are taking, there is no change in its structure, that will be upright. Our retention of the image's structure will be retained. So visual image is generated, that is known as concave lens. Concave lens is of taking that image will be, whatever image we are taking, that image will be straight upright will be there, and which image will be generated. Mirrors we are using for any kind of whatever mirrors we are using for, there's two-wheelers, four-wheelers, all those considered as a concave lenses only. Those are composed of concave lenses. And next is about human eye and the sensation of vision. How human eye is able to give the vision. How can we see? So these are called sensory organs, which are called optical devices, which used to see whatever objects which are present in our surroundings. It is an essential organ of the body. It's directly connected to the brain through the optical nerve. In order to see the object present in our surroundings, so it will utilize visible present in ultraviolet and visible region is essential for our visionary action. Okay, it is a sensory organ and used to react with the light, and it used to impart the vision tendency, right? So this but human eye is composed by rods and cones. So these rods and cones are used to capture the image, and these rods and cones which are present in the retina, and it works like a photoreceptive cell. It works like photoreceptive cell and used to draw the visible light. So whatever information we are getting, that will be sent to brain through the optical nerve. Okay, so they will get the signal. So light signals will be captured by this human eye, color, shape, in depth of the object, movement of the object, and also whatever other features present, all can be monitored, visualized by using this human eye. So what is the color of the substance? What is the shape of the substance? What is the size of the substance? How depth it is? And what is the movement? And other features also captured by using this human eye. It is a part of sensory nervous system. Human eye is able to see because it used to capture the objects in visible region, right? So what is the main function of human eye? Why these organs are required for us? Okay, so the cornea, whichever present in this eye, is used to focus the light. So whatever light coming, that light will be concentrated, focused on back of the retina. Okay, so cornea will take the light, and that light will be sent to retina, whichever present at the back side of this eyeball. The cells in the retina absorb the light and convert light into electrochemical impulses. So what retina will do? So it will take the light, and light can be converted into any other form, whatever we are able to analyze. That is called the electrochemical impulse. That transformation is carried by the organ called the retina, which are transport along with the optical nerve, then sent to the brain. So this is the general mechanism of function of human eye. How it will work? So cornea will take the light whichever coming from the visible region, and that information sent to retina. Retina will convert the light information into electrochemical impulses. Now it transported into optical nerve and subsequently to our brain. So that analysis carried by brain now, right? Now let us expand the applications, our uses, our functions of human eye. Then the cornea of the lens for the system, good approximation, acts as a single thin lens. Okay, cornea whichever present on the surface of the eyeball, so it works like a thin lens. A single thin images. In order to get the real images, what should be there? So light sensitive retina. So whatever light falling on this cornea, so now that that light is transferred into retina, and in order to get the clear image and real image, the distance between the cornea to retina should be in a fixed position. So if there is a slight deviation or any kind of disturbance, you can observe abnormality in the distance between the cornea to our retina, what happens? There is a possibility of visionary defects. So visionary defects will be observed whenever the distance between cornea to retina will be changed. The distance should be fixed. How much? 2.5 centimeter distance should be there in between outer cornea to inner retina. If that distance is fixed, so what images you are seeing without any visionary defects, you can observe the objects. Okay. Lens. So another part of the eye will be lens. What is the function of lens? It will adjust its power to produce the image on the retina. Okay. So when you take the camera, what we will do? In order to take the high resolution, we have to adjust those lenses. By adjusting, we can concentrate. The main purpose of lens is concentrating the light. If light is concentrated in the higher extent, resolution will be more, clarity will be more. In the same way, our eye having lens, natural lens will be there. Itself, it adjusts, and in order to concentrate the light and use to project the light at the retina. So this is an important organ which ever present in this human eye, right? Another is the center of the image falls on the fovea, which have the greatest density of light receptor at the greatest acuity in the visual field. Okay, so whatever image we are taking, so that image will be first falls on a fovea. So in eyeball, we have the part called fovea, and which used to concentrate the light. Density of light will be in what enhanced, and its sharpness also enhanced, right? So this is the process of visibility of human eye. Now, let us see next part of this one. Right. Eye produces real image on the retina by adjusting the focal length and the power in the process called accommodation. Okay. So what happens? So we see the objects, some are very near to us, and it is possible to observe the object so which are far away from us. So in that case, lens will adjust itself in order to give the resolution in the equal intensity at all times. For that purpose, it used to adjust the focal length. Distance between eye to that object, that focal length can be adjusted, as well as power of the vision can be adjusted. Both can be adjusted simultaneously. The process is called accommodation. Okay. So the lens having the property to adjust its objects whichever present in our surroundings without any difficulty. It is possible to view all the objects even they are somewhat far apart, and even they are very near to us, right? So now let us see. Now let us see, right? The person with normal vision can see the objects very clearly at the distance 25 centimeters. If the object is 25 centimeters distance from the human being, it is possible to see if the person is not suffering with any kind of visionary impairments. Okay, so one with healthy vision is able to see the distance. All objects can be visualized in front of eye. So if you are taking the distance of 25 centimeters, it is very convenient for the human being. However, so the near point, the shortest distance at which the sharp focus can increase with age. So this 25 centimeters is not fixed for all the people. All the persons not able to see in this distance. That depends upon age also, right? So based on that also, it is possible if the children of small children, when considered, up to 8 to 10 centimeters distance only, this clear vision will be possible. So this what normal human beings are able to see in the distance of 25 centimeters. Old age people up to 1 to 2 meters distance they are able to see. So this is about normal visionary distance. So 25 centimeters is the optimized distance of human vision. Okay, so Now let us move on to next concept, alternatives for the defected eye. Then if eye is not able to capture the exact objects whichever present in our surroundings, we have to go for some other alternatives. By fixing some artificial lenses, it is possible to cover or to treat our visionary defects. Okay, so here normal vision is possible in this way. So whenever myopia will be there, that exact picture is not falling on the retina. Instead, it is framing a picture in front of that retina only. That's why those objects are not clearly visible, the persons who are suffering from myopia. So by fixing a lens in between, what happens? We can adjust that picture and which directly falls on the retina. So it is the artificial aid which used to give the external support in order to make the picture and in order to make the things to visualize. So in this way, alternatives are also there in order to correct our visionary defects. Okay. This means that cornea is an uneven shape. If cornea distance, whatever cornea is there, that shape is deformed. Otherwise, distance between the retina and the cornea is changed. In that case, what happens? Instead of clear pictures, we can observe the pictures in the blurry form, right? So glasses or contact lenses are the other alternatives in order to treat this visionary impairment. Okay, so we may use either optical devices, optical lenses can be taken. Otherwise, contact lenses also applied in order to treat this visionary impact, right? So let us take activity and measure how distance you are able to see the objects. So how much distance, till how much distance you are able to observe the objects. So for that purpose, we are doing one activity, right? So for that, what we are doing in condition 1, we are taking the textbook having alphabets. So keeping in the maximum possible distance, up to which distance you are able to see the picture, you are able to see the alphabets without any blurredness. Okay, so that distance you have to measure. Okay, in condition 1, what we are doing? We are taking the textbook. In the textbook, different alphabets will be there. So in keeping in a particular distance, it is very clear to us and we can clearly read whatever things are there in the textbook. But what we are doing, we are moving the textbook as far as, so how much distance you are able to see without any inconvenience, without any blurredness. So that maximum distance of covering your eyesight, that you have to measure. And the second condition, now what we are doing, we are taking that textbook very near to our eye. Okay, as we are taking very near, what happens? Up to certain extent only we are able to read very clearly. The distance minimum up to which you are able to read without any complications, that also you have to measure. Okay, so what we are doing, we are going to identify least distance for the clear vision. Okay, so optimized condition will be 25 centimeters, but 25 centimeters is not fixed for all. That depends upon individual persons. For that purpose, we are going to measure our own distance for the clear vision. For that purpose, we are doing two kind of experiments. One experiment, we are taking the textbook and keeping in the maximum distance up to which we are able to read without any complication. The second condition, making that textbook very clear to our eye vision and up to which distance you are able to see in the closer proximity. In both the cases, you are measuring the distance. Okay, so what is meant by blurred vision? If we are going beyond that fixed limit, maximum limit, for example, up to 25 centimeters, you are able to see very clearly. You are placing the textbook 27 centimeters. What happens? Picture will not be clear. Instead, you can observe blurredness in that. So where eye strain will be there and it is not possible to read clearly, right? So in activity 1, what we are observing, measuring the distance of maximum distance, even minimum distance. Similar activity will be performed by changing the pupil. So persons will be changed, individual persons, individual distance will be there, individual maximum and minimum permit will be there in order to visualize the objects which are present in our surroundings. For all the persons, you are going to calculate their least distance for the clear vision. So how much distance they are able to observe, as well as you are able to observe, everything is able to measured by this activity 1. It is very clear what we are doing. We are going to identify up to which distance you are able to read the alphabets without any complications, and that can be performed by changing the different persons also. For each and every person, you are going to identify least distance for the clear vision. Okay, so this will be covered. So by this, so by changing all this, by changing all the people, so it is concluded that 20 by 20 vision will be there. Means maximum 20 feet you are able to see. So healthy human kinds are able to see the objects without any complication. So up to 20 feet distance, we are able to see the objects without any complications, right? And purely depends upon age. So till 10 years, 7 to 8 centimeters, there is the least distance for the distinct vision. For adults, it will be 20 to 25 centimeters. In case of old age people, 1 to 2 meters or even larger distance is possible. So because muscles are not in the position to move very easily. That's the reason why vision impairment is most common whenever so aged people are present. Okay, and next is about activity number 2, vision of eye top and bottom. Okay, so in activity 1, what we measured, how much distance you are able to observe the objects very clearly. Now second activity is, in this activity, so what angle our eye is able to observe, that angle you are going to measure now. Okay, so here we are taking the retard stand, and it is fixed with the horizontal rod, and one more vertical rod is fixed. Initially, we are fixing the vertical rod of 30 centimeters distance. So this vertical rod is of 30 centimeters distance, and here one human being is kept under observation, whose vision is parallel with respect to this straight horizontal line. So here either wooden or any plastic pipes can be taken in order to measure the angle of light, angle of vision. Okay, so what we are doing, retard stand was taken. To this retard stand, either straight wood piece or any plastic piece or metal rod can be taken. So this horizontal rod is fixed, and even one perpendicular vertical rod of 30 centimeters length is fixed to this one. What we are doing, so human being is able to see, able to expand his vision, so parallel with respect to this horizontal rod, and at the same time he is supposed to see the vision, he is supposed to see the top of this vertical pipe as well as bottom. Okay, so top of the pipe as well as bottom of the pipe, how distance, how angle he able to see. It is not part of distance, it is a part of angle of light. Okay, so if this 30 centimeters is not able to see simultaneously top and bottom, what we have to do, we have to reduce this pipe with a new one of 25 centimeters. By reducing the length, if he is able to see top and bottom at the same time, now it is very clear this extent of angle he able to observe in a single vision, right? Even if this 25 centimeters also very difficult, now we have to replace 25 with 20 centimeters, up to which he is able to see clearly. Again, this angle of vision depends upon different persons. Okay, so the same experiment will be repeated by changing this vertical rod length. You may take 20 centimeters, 25 centimeters, 30 centimeters, 40 centimeters, and even 50 centimeters. Up to which angle you are able to observe top and bottom of the vertical pipe in a single vision. So that you have to take it as an angle of vision, angle of vision. And the same will be repeated with various persons in order to measure their individual angle of vision, right? And next is about, here you can clearly see the picture where human eye was there, human eye having the provision to see the objects whichever present in the surroundings. But up to certain angle only we are able to see, not more than that, not beyond that. Okay. For example, when object is placed in between this A and B, it is in the certain distance, and A, B, it will be placed. So it is very clearly visible. Entire object, for example, let us take a stick here, and which is placed in between A and B points. So it is clearly visible. Entire will be clearly visible now. In the second case, what we are doing, we are moving this AB stick towards the viewer. Now it is moving towards the viewer. It is occupying the space of A dash and B dash. So now this stick is in between A dash and B dash. So again, you are going to observe the entire stick now, but it is not very clear. Up to certain extent only you are able to see the distance, that is E and F distance can be visible, and the remaining A naught, B naught portion is not visible to us. That became dark because up to this angle only you are able to see. Beyond this, it is not clearly visible to us. This is called angle of eye vision, right? So healthy human being angle of eye vision will be 60 degrees. So till 60 degrees, our eye vision will be there. Beyond that 60 degrees, it will be very dark. We are not able to see the objects beyond that 60 degrees angle. So activity 1 clearly predicts how much distance we are able to see the objects without any implications. Activity 2 used to predict how extent angle you are able to see the objects. Beyond that angle, those articles are not visible to us. Now let us see what is the definition of angle of vision. Maximum angle to visualize the whole object without any strain is called the angle of vision. Here, when it is placed in between A and B, entire thing is clearly visible. Our eye is not strained at all. Whenever it is moving towards this A dash, B dash, up to certain extent, we are able to see entire part is not visible. That's why this is called the angle till this AB is known as angle till AB is known as angle of vision. Okay. So maximum angle where entire picture, entire object is visible is called angle of vision. So by this, first part is completed. Now we are going to discuss about structure of human eye, right? So human eye is nothing but human eye. When we observe the structure of human eye, where we have all these parts in this, important parts of this human eye will be here. Iris will be there, pupil will be there, aqueous humor is the liquid medium, cornea is present outer layer, and lens is present. This is the important part of this eye, and the retina, which is present back eyeball. So this is the part where light is falling on this object. Image will be falling on this retina, and this retina is directly connected with optical nerve, which is connected to the brain. Okay. So here more information is provided in this picture, where we answer right. Now let us discuss the various parts whichever present in the human eye. So one by one we are going to describe in the detailed manner. Let us see all these. Right. So already we know human eye is the powerful organ which is able to observe all the things whichever present in our surroundings and visualize whatever parts whichever present in the visible region. Right. Optical nerve is a device which used to connect our eye with the brain, where all the objects whichever seen can be analyzed by the brain. Okay. Different which are present in the human eye are the pupil. So pupil is present here, clearly mentioned, block color, small ball type of shape, which is called a pupil. If light is in the close proximity, pupil will be compressed. If it is in the longer distance, this pupil will be expanded. In this manner, pupil is used to expand and compress based on the position, based on the distance between the object and our eye. Okay, and even on the intensity of the light. So, for example, let us see, our vision will be very easy under bright conditions. Whenever light conditions are there, we can clearly see the objects. So when we enter into dark, first it is not possible to see any kind of organism, any kind of object. After some time, some kind of organism, some kind of objects are visible, because pupil can be expanded under dark conditions and contraction will be there under light conditions. So that kind of adjustment will be there, so that here, so vision becomes perfect under different conditions also. And next is about retina. Retina is the thin layer which is present on the surface of this eye. So this retina is the thin layer which ever present. So it is present always behind the eyeball, and it is directly connected to optical nerve. Okay, the purpose of retina to receive the light can be received from the cornea and this sent to the optical nerve. Okay, distance between the retina and lens will be always fixed, that is 2.5 centimeters. Okay, from retina to outer cornea, the lens, the distance will be fixed, that is 2.5 centimeter distance should be there. Okay, and the next part of this one will be lens. This is the most important part of this eye, where concentration of light is possible. Okay, light will be concentrated in this lens only. Okay, so whatever object we are seeing, this lens used to concentrate the light. It is in crystalline nature. So cornea and the lens are used to focus the light, and that light rays can be transformed into retina. Okay, so it is the, whenever we observe this lens, inside part will be very hard, outside boundary part will be very soft in nature. Okay, lens is composed of the material where crystalline nature will be there, interior part will be very hard, exterior part will be soft in nature. And next part of the eye will be cornea. Cornea is the outer layer which is in highly transparent and protective membrane. Cornea is the layer. So outer side of the eye will be there. It is the transparent protective layer will be there, which is called the cornea. And next part of this eye will be conjunctiva. Another part will be conjunctiva. Conjunctiva of the eye provides the protection. Okay, where lubrication will be there. So it used to secrete the, so lacrimal glands will be secreted here. Tears and mucus will be there, which used to avoid the rupture, which used to provide the protection to the eye, and lubrication property will be there, so this conjunctiva is used to protect the eye, right? And even whatever microorganisms entering into the eye can be destroyed by using this conjunctiva because of its immune surveillance power, right? So whatever microorganisms entering into the eye, by excreting mucus and tears, they used to protect the eye from pathogenic microorganisms. And next is about iris. This is also very important part of the eye, right? So it is present in between aqueous humor and lens. So human eye is consisting iris. Here see, the central part is called, this black color dark region is called pupil, and the remaining bright shade entire region is said to be a iris. It is present in between aqueous humor and lens. Okay, so the purpose of this iris will be, it controls the amount of light enters into the eye. how much the intensity of light is there, the total intensity of light will not be captured by eye, and it used to modulate, it used to control the extent of light observed by the eye. As in that way, iris will optimize the light entering into the eye. Okay, so it used to work, it used to expand the pupil and contract the pupil based on the light intensity. Hence we can say based on its function only, pupil is working like a variable aperture. So pupil is working like a variable aperture in the presence of this iris only. Iris used to expand and compress this pupil based on the intensity of light. If intensity of the light is low, it will be contracted. It is more, it will be expanded. That is the purpose of iris. The bright color part which is surrounding this eye ball is known as, this pupil is known as iris. And next is about ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles are nothing but, so which are present like a circle which used to cover the entire eye. So this iris is covered by a circular organism, circular structure which is known as ciliary muscles, which are having the provision to contract and expand, and flexibility will be there. They used to protect the iris, and the lacrimal glands and all the remaining parts also present in this only. So that used to give the external protection to the iris as well as pupil. Okay, from the ciliary muscles only, aqueous humor will be secreted, and that used to give the lubrication to eye. Next is about optic nerve. Optic nerve is located near to the retina and back of ball. In the eye is called cranial nerve. It will give the information about all given retina, and the brain will realize these waves. Okay, so the purpose of the nerve will be, it will catch light and that is converted into electrical impulses. Electrical impulses will be created. Retinol blood vessels. As we know, retinol blood